Morning, everybody. Do me a favor as you're coming in. Invite some people. Share this for me. If you could be so kind. Come on in. All right. As I'm waiting on a few people to get on, if you could share this for me, please. Invite some people in. I'm inviting a few people. I'm just going down my friends list here, and I'm gonna get started in about 2 minutes. How's everybody doing tonight? Check in. How's everybody doing? Oh, there we go. How's everybody doing? Check in real quick. Do me a favor, share this video. Invite some people to watch. Not going to be long, but want to check in. Let me know how everybody's doing. I'm not going to be long. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but I'm not going to be long at all. So share this for me. Share it, share it, share it. I'm pretty sure this is public. Yeah. Alright, everybody. Please share this for me. We are going to get started in a few minutes. Let me know who's on. I can't really see everybody. Wave at me if you're on. Hey, Corey, how you doing? Hey, Kirsten. How you doing? Hey, Sister Shireen. Hey, cousin. Praying for you and your family. Still. Liz, how you doing? Hope you're feeling better. Missed you at the meeting on Monday. Hope all is well. Hey, Barb. Listen, if you know anybody, for those who are watching, if you know anybody who could use some help, some motivation, some prep talk in regards to their life, if they've been talking to you recently about how they feel as though their life sucks, if they've been talking to you recently about how they're just not satisfied with their life, whether it be spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, educationally, whatever it is, invite them on, because I really think this will help them. More particularly those who've been struggling with Jess, I know you're watching me. Can you bring me my glasses downstairs? Please, thank you. I can't see. So for those who are on, do me a favor, share this. If you know anybody who's struggling in those areas, you want to invite them on. So do me a favor, share this video. Real quick, I'm going to start in about 30 seconds. Share this video. I'm not going to be long, so just bear with me as you get on. I'm going to attempt to do this every Thursday. I'm going to call it Thirsty Thursday. They who thirst after knowledge shall be filled. So I'm going to call it Thirsty Thursday. Got a nice ring to it. So anybody that's feeling in the mood to make me a flyer regarding Thirsty Thursday, I appreciate it. Thank you. I can't see, I'm blind. So anybody that would like to make me a flyer for my Thirsty Thursday podcast or whatever, do that for me. If you want to pay for a flyer to get done, send me $50. I know somebody that can make it for me. All right, I appreciate it. About 10 more seconds, we're going to get on. So real quick, if you know anybody that could benefit from some just life motivation really quick, I'm not going to preach to you tonight. I may not. If I do, it's not my intent. I just want to talk practically to you, some practical adult life conversation, really quick. So, like I said, I'm going to do this every Thursday. Let me know, wave at me, say me or something. Let me know if I do this every Thursday, if you would tune in, because I don't want to waste my time. I just want to bless somebody. Sorry. I'm trying to fix my camera. Thirsty Thursday. This is my first attempt at Thirsty Thursday. All right. So I'm going to start in about 3, 2, 1. All right. While I'm doing this, you can continue to share this video. So real quick, listen. I'm going to talk briefly for a moment for those who may struggle with getting help. If you know your life kind of stinks at this moment and you haven't been too successful at getting any help or talking to the right people, I kind of want to help you out. I want to be that ear for you. I want to be that help, that guide. A few months back, I talked about doing a training, a series on business developers. If you own a business or want to own a business or whatever, I talked about doing something in that regard to help people out. But I really want to talk about 2 things. It was going to be 3 things, but I'm only going to talk about 2 things. I'll save the rest for another time. In regards to your life, I just want to say this. If your life is in a place that you don't like right now, if you're in an uncomfortable place with life, at this point in your life, you're too old and too grown to pass the blame on anybody else. And so you have to take a moment and really look at your life and say, you know, I'm not satisfied with my life and I must do something about it. You can't wait on the next person to do it for you. You can't wait on somebody to come save you. You can't wait on somebody to kind of wave a magic wand over your life and make everything better. You must be the first participant, the first willing worker in making your life better. The sad reality is, like the saying goes, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always have what you've always had. If you don't like what you have, if you don't like where you are, you must do something about it. Every day I hear people, whether it's directly, if they're talking to me through conversation, or I read it on Facebook, we hear people all the time talking about how they don't like their life sucks, they're not satisfied where they are, they don't like their job, they don't like how much money they're earning, they don't like how their marriage is going, they don't like, a lot of things to complain about. But the question is, first, before we really dive into that, what are you doing about what you don't like? What are you doing about your dislikes? Have you done anything besides complain? Have you done anything besides cry about it? Have you done anything about changing your current situation? Have you actively made realistic goals to get out of the situation you're in? If you don't like the financial situation you're in, what have you done in the past 30 days to change the next 30 days? If you don't like your job, what trainings are you undergoing? What education are you accommodating? What things are you doing to change that in the future? It's real easy to pick out things in your life that don't make you happy or things you don't like, but it's harder to come up with realistic plans about changing what you don't like. So 2 things that I promise you, I can guarantee you these 2 things. If you not only hear what I'm telling you, but you apply what I'm telling you, you may not change your life a total 360 or a total 180, but you will start to make small strides at living a better life. Are you ready? So if you're writing it down, you may want to write it down, even though this is a recording. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this up or not, so you might want to take notes, or you might want to put it in your phone or something. But number 1, the first thing, if you want to change your life in any aspect that I just mentioned, the number 1 thing you must do, you must develop certain habits. You must be habitual at whatever habits you develop. So, if you don't like your weight, if you don't like your health, you must develop a workout routine, a workout plan, something that will change your situation, and you must make it a habit. I'm not talking about just a 1-day thing or 2-day thing or a 1-week thing and a 2-week thing. You must make it a habit to continue to work on your plan. So, in regards to changing your habits, if you change your habits, you'll start realizing that your life will change little by little. Even if it's as little as waking up an hour early to pray, waking up an hour early to read, waking up an hour early to work out, waking up an hour early to get ahead of the day. If you start changing little habits at a time, you'll notice how different your life will be. One habit that I really want to talk about today, there are many habits you can develop and change, but the first habit I really want to talk about is reading. This may sound so ridiculous, but I need you to hear me out. You would be surprised at how much reading a book will change your life. What do you mean by that? I know some of you probably already think I'm crazy. Number one, there are so many people in the world that have went through particular situations that you are currently going through. So many people have experienced death, trauma, failure, bad marriages, bad parenting, bad upbringing, whether it be rape, molestation, whether it be abandonment from the mother or the father, whether it be bankruptcy, whether it be from being rich to being poor, whether it's living from paycheck to paycheck, whether it's a failure in your spiritual life, whether it's failure on your job, whatever it is. People other than you have experienced this. You are not the only one. So I want to deal with that. You are not the only one going through whatever the situation is you're going through. Other people have went through it before you. And you know what they did when they came out of it. They wrote it down and put it in a book. They recorded their struggle. They recorded their experience. I think the devil. They recorded these things in a book. And what they did was, did this thing break? They recorded it, and once they realized that other people other than them have went through these things and experienced these things, they wrote it down, put it in a book for other people to read. You are not going to talk to everybody. You're not going to talk to everybody. You're not going to encounter a close walk with everybody in your life. But what you can do is learn through experience by reading what they wrote in the book. Reading is fundamental. Reading will change your life. It will shift your life. It will change your perspective. It will allow you to see what other people have gone through. Not only will it do that, you'll be surprised at how many people have given up or attempted to give up, and they didn't give up because of one or two particular things. And those one or two particular things are written down in a book. And I'll tell you, I was going through an educational crisis in my life where I didn't know if I wanted to go to school. I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life after high school. I was just so confused and lost. I didn't know what was happening. I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Hour. That book single-handedly changed my life. And it was that book that allowed me to really realize that successful people aren't just born successful, that you develop success through your habits. And it was a book that just studied the habits of successful people, and it shifted my thinking 1,001%, to the point I credit my success next to God. I credit my success next to the books that I've read. So if you don't have a library of books, if you don't have any self-help books, I'm not talking about those crazy Zane sex books and those crazy books that don't help you out and that just make you live a crazy life. I'm talking about good self-help, self-development books, books that make you better, books that help you live a better life. You have to get books and read. That's number one. So my last point, which is my big point, and this is really, really big because I really feel like the Lord impressed on my heart that the reason people aren't really happy with their life isn't because they're just not happy. It's really because they may have failed in an area of their life, but they've been too afraid to try again. I'm going to tell you something about being successful. No matter what area of your life is, you are going to fail. And you have to be okay with failing. You have to be okay with failure. You have to be okay with not doing it right every time. You have to be okay with failing the first time in order to succeed the second time. You will never succeed the second time if you stop trying after the first failure. You are going to fail at trying to be successful for a few reasons, but the number one reason you're going to fail is because it's new. Nobody expects everybody to do something new right the first time. saying, and if you see me adjust this phone, I'm trying to find something that works to prop this thing up. Nobody's going to succeed at anything in life the first time the right way. So it is okay to fail. It's okay to not get it right. The key is you must be willing to keep trying until you've mastered it, until you've succeeded at it. You must keep going until you win. There's a video that I watched by what was it, Les Brown. Les Brown did a video, and it was called "It's Not Over Until You Win." That thing blessed me because it let me know that your life isn't over because you've lost. As a matter of fact, it doesn't end until you win. So life is waiting on you to become a winner. Not so much it stops because you failed. Life isn't over until you win. So I've written a few notes down about failing. Number one, and I want you to understand, because there's somebody listening who this is going to help. Understand, number one, there is a big difference between failing and being a failure. Okay? There's a big difference between failing and being a failure. Number one, failing is temporary. When you fail at something, that is temporary. Being a failure is permanent. So if you try to start a business, or you try to open up a business, or I don't know, you try to go back to school, and it doesn't work, or you failed at it, you wasted your money, you've invested your time, you've read up on it, you've researched, you wasted time going to conferences or trips or going to find information, you wasted your money on doing a lot of things, and it didn't work. And in your mind, you failed, or you're a failure, but in reality, you're not a failure, you just failed the first time. Understand that if you fail at a thing, you only become a failure when you change your mindset. Failure is a mindset. And so the only reason Bill Gates is as successful as he was, or Steve Jobs is only as successful as he was, or anybody else who has become successful in business or whatever career they're in, they can all tell you, they did not do it right the first time. Nobody succeeds on accident. It's very intentional. It is very purposeful. You succeed because you've planned on being successful. I can't say that enough. It doesn't just land in your lap one morning. You don't just wake up and say, well, I think today I'm going to be successful. No, you think it and you work that thought out. Faith without works is dead. You can have the biggest dream, the biggest plan, the biggest idea, the biggest invention in your heart and in your mind, but if you do not put work behind that plan, it's simply a plan, and it will only be a plan until you put action behind what you believe and what you want. So the number one difference between being a failure and failing is that failing is temporary. Once you fail, you can do it again. You can try over. You can get another chance. Failure is a setback. It's a temporary disappointment. It's a temporary disappointment. Being a failure means that you've given up and you've committed to stopping at whatever it is you've attempted to do. There's a scripture in the New Testament that talks about when Jesus was going to the boat. When Jesus was teaching and he saw the disciples on the boat, they were fishing, and he noticed that the disciples were washing their nets. And he said, hey, what are you doing? He said, Master, we've been out here all night, all day, trying to catch fish, and we haven't done anything. And he said, well, cast out your net again, do it one more time. And the reason he was able to notice that they were frustrated was because he saw them giving up. He saw them doing things as a sign of giving up. When you wash your net, that means you were done working for the day. That means you were tired. You were done casting your net for that day. They were washing their net, and by their actions, he knew they had given up. And so he went over to try to coach them and encourage them. You may not tell somebody you've given up on school or given up on your idea or given up on your dream, but when is the last time you actively and excitingly talked about your dream to somebody? If you can't say that you have the same desire that you had when you first had that idea or that thought, then you have given up, my friend. And you have not said it, but you have done things, and your actions have showed, even though you don't say it, you have given up because you don't talk about it as much as you used to. You don't go after the things as much as you used to. You don't talk about, look what I bought for my future business, or look what I've invested myself in, and look what book I bought, or look what training I signed up for, or look what investment I made into my future business, or look what preparations I've made. If you're not talking about it, they are signs that you've already given up. So if you have stopped talking about your dreams, Shake yourself, pinch yourself, do whatever you must do, but keep talking about it. Talking about it will keep it alive. They tell you when a person is unconscious and when you're doing CPR and when you're waiting on EMS to come or the paramedics to come or the ambulance to come, the first thing you do is to keep talking to them, encourage them to talk, and encourage them to keep talking and keep speaking, because speaking keeps you alive. Talking keeps you alive. I can't stress this enough. When I was going through my failures in business and my failures in life, when I was at the initial stage of everything, when I was trying to do it the right way the first time and I failed, the reason I was able to get back up again is because every time I talked about it, it was a constant reminder of the reason I wanted to do it in the first place. Because sometimes you'll catch yourself having to remind yourself of why you went through what you went through, or why you dreamed that dream, or why you had that desire in the first place. So talking about something will always keep your dream alive. It will always allow you to have a constant reminder of why you're in the path you're in, whether it be, like I said, school, spiritual, whether it be in business. You must continue to talk about it. If you're listening and you have a friend that hasn't talked about that business idea in a long time, they haven't talked about going back to school in a long time, they haven't talked about whatever it was they were going to do. If they haven't talked about it in a long time, I want you to call them and say, hey, I need you to keep talking about it. Tell me about your dream again. Tell me about that business again. Tell me what it was you were going to do. Tell me how you were going to change the world. Tell me how you were going to affect the community. Tell me what you have a desire to do. If they're not talking about it, get them talking again, because talking is a sign of life. Get them talking about it. If they were going to write a book, if they were going to, whatever it is, keep them talking, because talking is a sign of life. Another thing about failing and failure, it is a natural part of life. It's a natural part of life. It is a natural part of life. In life, you are going to fail. You're not a bad person. You're not a dumb person. You're not a weak person because you failed. You're human because you failed. Humans fail. Nobody gets it right the first time. Nobody does everything perfect. When you look at Bill Gates' store, he started in his garage and with a few college friends, and they failed, and they said, you know what, I can't believe I'm wasting my time with this stupid idea about computer software at Microsoft. You know, I can't believe I'm wasting my time doing this. You know, you can do this on your own. I'm out of here. And they gave up, and they failed, and because they were fearful, they were so fearful, they said, I'm going to trust my security in a job than to chase my dream. And I can only tell you how much I know they regretted that after it took off. But you have to be very mindful that fear doesn't set in because you don't see the results right away. It's something about just waiting. Something good happens when you just wait. When you just wait. When you wait for God to open up the right door at the right time, at the right moment in your life. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next week. But at the right day, at the right time, something good is going to happen for those who do not give up. And I know somebody's listening who was on the verge of giving up. They felt no momentum. They felt no help. They felt no push. They felt no success. If you stay right where you are, stay committed, you will make it. My last point about failure, the last difference I want to talk about being a failure and failing. People who become a failure, they've turned their back on learning. If you fail, that just means you are a committed student to you are committed to being a lifelong learner. Being a lifelong learner, you are going to fail, and it's a part of learning. That means you're committed to get back up, do it again. They say fall 7 times, get back up 8. That is so true. You cannot be so caught up on how you failed that you don't try it again. And so always remember that there is somebody else watching you, depending on you, to make it out. And you got to remember that no matter what it is you've tried to do, no matter what it is you've done, no matter what it is you're trying to do right now, if you have not succeeded, it's not over. Like I said earlier, it's not over until you win. It's not over until you've completed it. It is not over until you've made it through. So to that person listening who desires to shift your life. You felt like giving up. You felt like there was no momentum. You felt like giving up on that dream. You felt like giving up on that desire. You felt like giving up starting that business. You felt like giving up on going back to school. You felt like giving up on whatever it is. Do not give up. You're the right man for the job. You're the right woman for the job. God knew what he was doing when he placed that seed of hope in your heart. He knew what he was doing. And he knew what you would be up against. He knew the opposition. He knew the stress. He knew the discouragement. He knew the haters. He knew the doubters. He knew how the devil would work in your mind. He knew all of that. But he still gave you that. And so you have to learn to work with what you got. Don't wait on nobody to help you. Don't wait on nobody to give you anything. Don't wait on anybody to give you a life raft and say, here, I'm going to help pull you to your success. You may walk this walk by yourself. You may arrive by yourself, whatever have you. Just be prepared to live out the process. Be processed, be developed, and learn, and you'll succeed. The race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to he that can endure to the end. If you can just wait this thing out, keep pushing, keep trying, pick up a book and read it. Change your habits. If you get up at 7 o'clock, get up at 6 o'clock. Pray, read a book, take a walk, do something. Do something to regulate your mind. Get your mind going before the day starts. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock, go to bed at 11. Take an hour out for self-development. Listen to some videos. Get on YouTube. Listen to some motivation. Go to Bible study during the week. Read the Bible. Pray. Do something. Just get better. Don't be stuck. Don't be in the same place you were last year. You're getting older. You need to get better. Some of you are just getting older day by day, but you're not getting better. It's time to get better. So I just want to jump on and share that with you. Share this video. Look out for some other videos. I want to attempt to do this every Thursday. So again, like this video, share this video with anybody you can. I'm going to keep it up tonight for a few hours. So as soon as you get off, share this video. Do me a favor, put it on your page and tag some people that you think will be blessed by watching this. Again, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. Love you all. Take care.